looks like we're up and running here. Alrighty, well, welcome back. We are back for some more Pokemon Run&Bun. Continuing on with my second furthest attempt here for this, doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. It's been a little few days, but we are finally back to we made it to Fortress City in the last stream, and we are now able to tackle Winona's gym. Which there are only 6 fights in the gym, including Winona herself. So the goal is to do all of those fights. I planned them all out. So hopefully, if I did everything correctly, we'll come out of this having 6 gym badges. So yeah, so there's a handful of pretty tough gym trainer battles, and then Winona herself is actually pretty tough. Since I don't have a Beedrill, which I did in my PB, which made the gym a lot easier. So I had a bit of a tougher time planning out this time, but I think I have an okay-ish line that's got a little bit of risk, but not a crazy amount. But yeah, I have my notes. I got things all sorted out, so yeah, why don't we go ahead and take on the first fight. The first fight is actually a little mini gym leader himself. Hey, what's up, Luke? Good to see you. Shiny Dratini, that's pretty cool. Was it an alpha or just a regular shiny? Okay. Well, good to have you. Wait. I was just explaining I'm about to do Winona's gym right now. So if you want to stick around, have me in the background. We got some pretty exciting fights planned out here, so yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start the first one here. Alright, so first trainer I already have pre-planned here. Just making sure I have all my right items. Alright, so first fight over here. Let's go ahead and save and get ready. Alright, so this first fight is pretty tough, so if we can make it past this, it'll be a good sign for the rest of the gym. But yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, Expert Kevin. Alright, so he leads a Masquerain, which has a pretty annoying set because it has a Focus Sash with sticky webs, which can be pretty difficult to work around. But with Infernape, it's a pretty easy solution. I'm just gonna fake out into Overheat to take this thing out, so without it setting up its sticky webs. And I am holding a Life Orb not for the damage, but for something else, which I'll explain in a second. So Masquerain goes down, and this should always bring in Gyarados next. So we should see Gyarados, perfect. This thing is scary because it does have Dragon Dance. So I held a Life Orb, so after the damage I took, it makes Gyarados always see a KO with either Waterfall or Earthquake. What's up in the chat, you guys? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are all having a good day today. Alright, so this Gyarados is guaranteed to go for either Waterfall or Earthquake because he sees a KO with it. So I'm going to swap into my Galvantula, which will always survive a crit from whatever hit it goes for. So let's see, Waterfall, perfectly fine. Alright, so now, normally this Gyarados is holding a Walk-On Berry, which reduces the damage it takes from electric moves. But my Galvantula has the ability Nerve, which makes berries unusable. So this Thunderbolt will do full damage and one shot. Let's see. Pina2267, I'm sorry to hear you didn't have a good day, but I appreciate you stopping in. I hope that the rest of your day goes better. Appreciate you being here. Alright, so let's see what this brings in. Alright, so Rotom comes in. It's gonna go for a random move. Most likely, Leaf Storm. So I'm gonna go to my Roserade, which pretty much walls this thing. Let me just make sure. Perfect. So we'll go Roserade on whatever move it goes for here. Yep, so there's Leaf Storm. So it's holding a White Herb, so it'll regain its special attack stat, but it's perfectly fine. Let's see. Chris, how's it going? Good to have you in here. Isabel, appreciate you stopping in. I'm doing okay. A little tired, had a long day at work, but we're here now. So. Chris, good question. This is a modded version of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun, which is currently considered the hardest ROM hack of any Pokemon game, and I'm doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, which is basically if a Pokemon faints, I can no longer use it. So, very particular type of challenge, very, very difficult. Alright, so my Roserade outspeeds, and majority of the time one-shots with Sludge Bomb. If it doesn't, it can go for Thunder Wave, but I'm holding a Cherry Berry in case of paralysis, so I got my bases covered there. Chris, appreciate it. Positive vibes, bro. Really, really appreciate it. Alright, so Sludge Bomb. Hopefully we'll just one-shot here, ideally. Perfect. Alright, and this should always bring in Togekiss. Alright, so Togekiss here is also pretty scary, because it's got Nasty Plot to boost its special attack, and it's got Serene Grace with leftovers. So just wanna ruin your day. But right now it can't go for... it can't go for Nasty Plot because my Roserade outspeeds and two-shots it. So it has to go for highest damaging move, which in this case would be Air Slash. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap first to my Arcanine. To take the Air Slash pretty well as a pivot. So there's Air Slash. Darren's Crazy Life, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in. I've watched a few horror movies in my time, but I don't know if I could dual focus on that with what I'm doing right now. But I appreciate you tuning in. Alright, so now Togekiss is guaranteed to go for Aura Sphere. So I'm gonna swap to my Salazzle to take that Aura Sphere. Perfect. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, because it just used that, to prevent it from using any other move, I'm gonna use Encore to make it always have to use Aura Sphere for the next 3 turns. Chris, appreciate the sub, bro. Much appreciated. Alright, so now that he's locked into Aura Sphere, I'm going to switch back to my Roserade to two-shot it with Sludge Bomb. So, okay, there's the Aura Sphere. It's got 2 more turns of it. So, and we have just enough turns to KO with 2 Sludge Bombs. So there's 1. Another Aura Sphere. Alright, this thing's got leftovers, but we still 2-shot even with the leftovers. The Encore ended, but we're still faster, and this will KO. Alright. So this will now bring in the last one, which is Porygon 2. So the reason why I did all that work was so that Porygon 2 would come against my Roserade, and because of its ability download, it'll raise its attack based on what your lowest defense is. So my Roserade has lower defense, so it raises its attack, which is what I want because it's going to use special attacking moves. Chris, I don't really stream daily, kind of more like whenever I can. Probably like every other day, I would say. It depends on what I'm doing, but yeah, I'm just streaming this on my PC. Alright, so right now, what we're gonna do, the Porygon is either gonna use Ice Beam, or it could use Thunder Wave. Actually, no, it's gonna use, yeah, Ice Beam or Thunder Wave. So what we're gonna do, and this thing is annoying because it's got Eviolite, which increases its defenses. So I'm gonna swap to my Muck. Alright, so there's Ice Beam. Ideally, it doesn't freezes. Alright, good. Alright. Alright, well, have a good night, Chris. Really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Hope to see you around again sometime. Alright, so now what I'm going to do now with this Porygon 2 is I am going to knock off its Eviolite. So that way it'll take more damage. So there's a Tri-Attack. Ideally this doesn't status, so I don't have to use a Lumberry. Perfect. Oh, and we even got the Poison Touch. Nice. Alright, so now with its Eviolite gone, it'll take a lot more damage. So I am going to swap back to my Arcanine, who can take the hits pretty well. So there's a Thunder Wave. Unfortunately, we gotta use a Lumberry. I needed a Lum in case of either Freeze or Paralysis. Now from here, I believe we can just go ahead and KO with probably, let's see, without the Eviolite. Oh yeah, we can just go for close combat. It should one-shot from here. Alright, perfect. Very, very clean. Alright, so that's the first fight out of 6 in this gym. The next fight's also pretty tough. So let's go ahead and prep for that. Alright, so let's see, let's save. Alright, so the next fight is gonna be a rain fight, which can be pretty tricky. So for this one, we're gonna need our Hisuian Electrode. Felon God, how's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping in. This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emeralds called Pokemon Run&Bun. I'm currently doing a hardcore Nuzlocke of it. And it's considered currently probably the hardest Pokemon ROM hack currently out there. So very particular, very difficult challenge I'm doing here. So okay, let's see. We're keeping Arcanine, but we need Eldegoss. Let's see. We need Alakazam. We need Staraptor. And Infernape. Alright, so for this fight as well, let me look at my notes here. Bait you, go you. Bait you. Yeah, look, it should be good here. Alright, so for the items, we need, let's see, citrus berry for electrode. We need another lumberry for arcanine. Oranberry for Eldegoss. Let's see. Asperberry for Alakazam. Let's see. Sharpbeak for Staraptor. And Infernape doesn't need an item. Alright, so this should be good. Let's go into the next fight here. And let me go ahead and show it on the feed. Next one is this one. Picnicker Ashley. Alright. Hopefully planned everything as correctly here. Alright, so there's the next fight. Let's go ahead and save. Triple check my items. Citrus, Plum, Orin, Asper, Sharpbeak. Alright, cool. Double check my notes here. Go you. Back to you, back to you. Alright. So this is... this fight's pretty technical, so hopefully I did everything correctly. So... yeah, this fight's pretty tough, so I'm a little nervous. Just making sure I triple check everything, but... we should be good. Let's go ahead and do this here. Alright, Picnicker Ashley. Alright, so she leads a Pelipper with Drizzle to set up Rain for the whole fight. So first thing we're going to do is simply my Electrode outspeeds, and we could one-shot with Volt Switch to KO and to give us a free switch into our next guy. So we're going to start with that. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is it Atitchophobia? This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emeralds called Run&Bun, which basically makes the game very, very difficult. So we're gonna freely switch into my Arcanine to bait in the Golduck next. So we should see Golduck come in here. Alright, perfect. So This Golduck is kind of a monster because it has Swift Swim, which makes it faster than everything in my team. And it's got Hypnosis to put you to sleep. It's got a Psychic Gem to boost Psyshock. It's got Surf, boosted by the rain, all that jazz. So this thing is kind of a monster. But right now, it sees a guaranteed KO with only Surf. So it's always going to go for that. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do a lot of switching here. So I'm going to switch to my Eldegoss to take the Surf and lower its speed because of the Cotton Down ability. So Surf. So we take that. This reduces its speed by 1 stage, which is just enough for us to work with here. So now it's gonna either go for Ice Beam or Hypnosis. So I'm gonna swap back to my Arcanine. On either of those. And I'm holding a Lumberry in case of any statuses here. Hopefully I don't have to use it in this case. Alright, so there's an Ice Beam. Hopefully we don't see a freeze here. Alright, really nice. Yes, I have studied my opponents. This challenge I'm doing is so difficult that you literally have to plan it out turn by turn in order to win. So right now, again, the Golduck is always going to go for Surf. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap back to my Electrode to take the Surf here. Perfect. Alright, so now, because I lowered its speed 1 stage, my Electrode can now outspeed. I can't KO, but I can use Volt Switch again to deal damage and to switch out, as it's most likely gonna go for Ice Beam. So I'm gonna Volt Switch, do some damage. And I'm going to swap to my Alakazam to take the Ice Beam. And I'm holding an Aspirate Berry in case I get frozen. Okay, so there's the Ice Beam. Perfect. Yeah, this is as peak of a strategy game as you can make Pokemon. So now, again, because of its reduced speed, my Alakazam also outspeeds, and I can now one-shot with Psychic. Wait, what? What the heck? It outsped me there? No, that's... There's no way, it was minus... It was minus speed. That was very weird. I should have been faster. Alakazam is very lucky to have survived that, by the way. It's okay. We're fine, but I have no idea why Alakazam didn't outspeed there. And the Calx, it was for sure after -1 speed, even in Swift Swim. I should have outsped. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, but we're still fine. Because right now, the Decidueye here is just gonna go for a random move. So we can just swap to... Go ahead and swap directly to my Staraptor here to take either hit, whatever hit it goes for. Alright, so Shadow Ball doesn't deal any damage. Perfect. Alright, and I outspeed and can one-shot with a Sharp Beak boosted dual wing beats. Alright, so the Situai goes down. That just leaves a Caesar last. And the Caesar here has Sword Stance, which can be pretty scary, but I outspeed and can two-shot, so it can't use Sword Stance. So instead, it's going to use its highest damaging move, which in this case would be Acrobatics. Let me just check one thing here. Yeah, so I should always go for Acrobatics here, which my Arcanine can take fairly well. So we're going to do that first. Yep, so there's Acro, boosted by Flying Gem. Alright, so now, my Arcanine can outspeed and one-shot, but he can also die to a Bullet Punch crit. So instead, I'm gonna go to my Infernape, which can take the Bullet Punches a little bit better. And it has to go for it because it sees that I can KO it. Perfect, Bullet Punch. And then now my Infernape can just outspeed and one-shot with Overheat as it goes for another Bullet Punch. Alright. Okay, so we beat the fight, but I still have no idea why. My Alakazam was slower. Yeah, I could show in the calculator right now. Unless something in the calc is wrong, but let's see. Yeah, so if we look at the calculator really quickly, the Golduck I reduced by one, reduces speed one stage, so my Alakazam should have always been faster by one speed point. There's no way it should have gone for, well, I mean it would have gone for Surf, but there's no way it would have outsped me in this case, unless the level was off. But that's a huge miss there. The fact that my Alakazam lived is pretty incredible. I think he got 2 low rolls. So, that's not the first time Alakazam's dodged. It's dodged deaths. So, alright, a little scary, but we should be fine. Those first 2 fights were the toughest out of all the gym trainers, so the next 3 shouldn't be as bad. So let's go ahead and look at the next one now. The next one is a double battle. which should be pretty okay to deal with here. Alright, so for this fight, we're gonna need... let's see. We're gonna lead Arcanine in the first slot. We're gonna have Caracosta in the second slot. Then we're gonna have Togedemaru. Let's see, then we'll have Electrode. And that's pretty much it. I could bring both. I guess I could bring Alakazam and Infernape as a backup. Caleb, what's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. I am not an AI. Alright, so... let's see, I'm just take a quick look at my notes here. Let's see, so I need... I think I need to level up my Togedemaru at least 1 or 2 levels. I don't think I'm using it for any other planets, so that should be fine. Yeah, that is what an AI would say. You are right about that. So I think I'm gonna level up Togedemaru just once here. Pineapple pizza, I actually really love pineapple pizza. Hawaiian pizza is my favorite type of pizza. Let's see here. See, I can give Togi an Oranberry. And then I need Chesto Berry for Arcanine. Yeah, anyone who doesn't think pineapple belongs on pizza is just wrong. The sweet and savory flavors are top-notch. See, I don't think I need any other items. Mihawk, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing alright today. Let's see, I'm gonna get started in a sec here. I'm just looking over my notes one more time. we're good here. Oh, I need to, let me see, there's one other thing here I need to account for. Let me see. 64.6 times 2. That could be an issue. Yeah, because the Oricorio has an Iapapa berry. But we're not super likely to proc it. But if it does, that can be a big issue here. Let's see if it does and it survives. I could use Fake Out with Togedemaru to deal with that. Yeah, I have options. It should be fine. Let me see. We should be good here. There's just there's some variance with this fight that could be a little troublesome, but we should have good workarounds for everything. We could take off these items here. Let me just actually give some person berries, just in case of any shenanigans. I should probably give one to Togedemaru as well. Alright. I think we're looking good here. Let's go ahead and take on this next fight. Alright, only 3 more fights to go for this gym. So we just did that one. So now we're gonna go this way. Alright, so let's triple check. Let's see, Chesto, no item, person. Alright, so let's save. And let's go ahead and do this here. First and second slot? Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so we got Camper Flint and Birdkeeper Eduardo. Alright, so they're leading a couple of annoying threats here. One side has all the Oricorios that each have things like Dancer as their ability, with Teeter Dance, Calm Mind, all that jazz. And then the other side has things that have Quiver Dance, which if one of the sides uses, then the other side also gets those buffs. And the Robombi here is also has a Focus Sash, so it could always survive on one hit. But right now, the Robombi and Oricorio see guaranteed KOs into my Caracosta with both moves, so they can't set up or use status moves. So while they do that, I'm going to Rock Slide both sides, hopefully not proccing Oricorio's Iapapa Berry. Ideally, we'd like to see that here. And as they attack, I'm going to Protect to bait both moves. So there's Energy Ball, Revelation Dance, and here's Rock Slide. So bring the Robombi down. Okay, perfect. Alright, cool. So we didn't proc the Iapapa, that's perfect. So now, same thing. Both sides are going to attack my Caracosta slot with Energy Bomb and Revelation Dance. So I'm going to Rock Slide again to KO both. And I'm going to bring in my Togedemaru to take both of those attacks. Ideally, we don't see any crits here. Good. Up Sped F drop, not ideal. Okay, perfect. Alright, that's fine. We outsped. Alright, so both sides go down. This is gonna bring in a Venomoth and a Fire Oricorio. So there's the Venomoth. And then there's the Fire Oricorio. So, similar situation. The Oricorio sees a guaranteed KO into my Togedemaru, but not the Venomoth, I don't believe. So, the Venomoth can potentially... Actually, no, it can't use Quiver Dance, but it can use Sleep Powder. But my Arcanine is holding a Chesto Berry. I am speed tied, so it can outspeed half the time and put me to sleep, but I have a Chesto Berry in case that happens. So I am going to use Flare Blitz to get rid of this Venomoth, because it's a big threat. And as that happens, I am going to Spiky Shield to protect Togedemaru from the Oricorio. Alright, so we win the speed tie. Venomoth goes down here. Alright, and then there's Revelation Dance. We're protected. Alright, so now this just leaves the other two Oricorios by themselves. So now, we could just simply outspeed and one-shot with Rock Slide. And I'm going to swap in Togedemaru for, let's see, Togedemaru for, I think Electrode. Let me just triple check something. Let's see, 85.8 plus 72.7. Oh yeah. Yeah, so definitely swap in Electrode here. So Electrode comes in, we'll KO the Oricorio. And this just leaves the Psychic Oricorio, which we can just outspeed and KO with a Rock Slide and Thunderbolt combo. Even through its Iapapa Berry, we should always KO here. Perfect. A critical hit to bring it home. Alright, really good. Worked out pretty nicely. Alright, so now we just have 3 more fights left. So let's go and prep for the 4th fight here. Starting to get a little sleepy, so definitely want to try to power through these last 3 fights. I want to deal with them all right now. I don't want to save it for another time. My brain will just keep thinking about it. Alright, so the next fight. Yo, what's up, Will? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. We are currently taking on the sixth gym right now. We've already done 3 of the fights. There's 3 more left that we're gonna do. We are doing them all in this stream. I have them all planned out. So we're getting ready. Let me see. The next one. Birdkeeper Darius. Alright, so for this fight, let me just look at my notes again here. So we got you. Beat you. Yeah, appreciate the enthusiasm. Unfortunately, after this gym is the longest part of the game, so we are still quite a ways away. But if we can get past this gym, that would be a huge milestone to have. So let me see. Just looking really quick at my team here. Let's see. Let's see. Where's my Magna Zone? Go you. Then we go. Where's it at? Arcanine. Okay, yeah, that's right. Debate you. And then we just bring these guys as backup. Yeah. Alright, so for this fight, we're going to need Excadrill. My boy Metallica up in here. We keep Arcanine. But we need Cloyster. Let's see, we need Magnezone. We need let's see, Omastar and Crustle as backups. Let's see, where's Crustle at? Oh, there he is. Alright, and then for items, we need Life Orb on Excadrill. We need a Citrus Berry for Cloyster. We need a Rost Berry for Magnezone. Person Berry for Arcanine. And then Chestos for Omastar and Crustle. Okay, and that should be good. Let me just triple check the line here. So go you, hate you, go you. Bait you. And then take it out with the rest here. Alright, yeah, this should be good. Yeah. Alright, so we're ready for the next fight. I'm just gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. We're back. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this next fight. Fourth fight out of 6 in this gym. Let's see. Alright, so next fight is over here. Let's go in and save. And triple check my items. So, Life Orb, Citrus, Frost, Person, Chesto. And just triple check my notes one more time. You can never be too sure with this game. Yeah. We're looking good. As we should. Alright. Let's go and do this here. Alright, Birdkeeper Darius. Alright, he leads a Clefable. Alright, so this thing, a little annoying because it's got Stealth Rocks, but to start off, we're just gonna outspeed and one-shot with a Life Orb boosted Iron Head. Alright. Take a little bit of Life Orb damage, and this should always bring in Gliscor. Alright, so Gliscor here does have Sword Stance, which can be scary. But because of that little Life Orb damage I took, Gliscor sees a guaranteed KO with Earthquake. So he has to go for that. So we're gonna go to my Cloister, which can take the Earthquake fairly well. Ideally, we don't see a crit here. Perfect. Alright, and now, I think he could potentially use Swords Dance, but it shouldn't matter. He could also go for Sky Uppercut, but Icicle Spear should always take this thing out. Yeah, so there's Sky Upper. Citrus will heal us up a little bit. It's got a Yachi Berry, but it only works for the first hit it takes. I believe. Oh, nice crit. Yeah, so the rest of the hit should be normal damage. Yeah. Alright, perfect. So Gliscor goes down. And this should always bring in Noivern. And I believe at this HP... he's either gonna go for... Let's see, I'm at 101. Okay, so he could either go for Hurricane or Dragon Pulse. Or, if it gets the max roll, it could potentially go for Flamethrower. All of which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna swap to my Excadrill to take whatever move it goes for here. Oh no, this one, not Excadrill, Magnezone. Perfect, so, we take that very well. Now, the Noivern is always gonna go for Flamethrower. So we are gonna swap into Arcanine on a flamethrower here. Perfect. So we take that. And I believe now, because of its damage, it does have Super Fang, which I believe it will always go for here because it sees it as highest damage. If it doesn't, we're still perfectly fine either way. Combination of Rock Slide into Extreme Speed will always KO. Let me just triple check that here. 26.5. Yeah, we just barely always KO with Rock Slide into Extreme Speed. Yep, so there's Super Fang. And then Extreme Speed will take it out. Perfect. So Noivern goes down. This will just leave a Crobat. And Crobat here has Hypnosis, which it could use. It also has a Scope Lens to boost its critical hit rate. Let's see, right now I'm at 109. He is most likely going to go for Brave Bird, which we do always live a crit. So it is ideal that we go for a Rock Slide here in case if it goes as for Hypnosis. So let's see, plus 26.9. Yeah, so we're going to go for a Rock Slide. If it doesn't use Hypnosis, we can just KO. But if it does, then we have some backup. So we're gonna click Rock Slide and see what it goes for. Alright, so it's Brave Bird, so we can just take it out with Arcanine. And there's no priority. So yeah, Extreme Speed will outspeed and always KO from here. Alright, really good. 4 fights down, 2 more to go. 1 more Gym Trainer, and then Winona. And then we're done. And then we will have 6 gym badges. Alright, so let's prep for the 5th fight here. Definitely starting to get a little bit more tired, so I'm ready to get these done. Alright, so the next fight we got is Birdkeeper Jared, who's got a pretty scary looking team, but we have some good options for it. I think we have a pretty good line for this fight. So let me look over my notes here. Get things situated. So we got Lycanroc. First time bringing into a fight, funnily enough. So Lycanroc. Space Sword fetched. Oh, Gliscor. Okay, with Macro. They Archeops. Go Exca. Salazzle. Fate Blaziken. And then we need Gyarados and Omastar as our final duo. Bait, swap, bait, swap, okay, yeah. Alright, so I think we look good here. This fight is very technical. Alright, so we need Lycanroc. We're keeping Excadrill. We need Gliscor. Let's see, where's that guy at? There he is. Gliscor. We need Salazzle. And then Gyarados and Omastar. Alright, and then for the items, let's see, we need Hardstone for you. We need Citrus Berry for Salazzle. We need a Rost Berry for Omastar. And we need the Life Orb on Gyarados. So where's that thing? Who would have had it last time? Oh yeah, no, it was Excadrill. So we'll take that, pop it on to Gyarados. Alrighty. Let us go ahead and tackle the last, this last gym trainer before Winona herself. I'll take one more quick look through. Let me do one more quick run through my notes one more time. Bait. You. Baits go you. Baits. Swap. Swap. this all looks good. Alright. Let's go ahead and head over. Let's see, we went up here. These puzzles. I don't have the brain power to do these puzzles. It's pick up here, down. No, not down. Right, there we go. Alright, last gym trainer. Just want to save. Triple check items. Alright. This fight is a little scary, so hopefully everything turns out alright. Alright, Bird Keeper Jared. Alright, so this guy's got a pretty scary team. Lil Lara, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you coming by to watch. Hope you're doing alright today. Alright, so to start off with, this Yanmega is really fast, can deal a lot of damage, but with a Heartstone, Accelerock will outspeed and one-shot this Yanmega. One of the only uses I can have with this Lycanroc is first time seeing the light of day. Alright, so this Braixen Sirfetch'd, who is always going to be going for a KO with close combat. So we can swap pretty freely to our Gliscor to take that very well. So there's close combat. We take it very well, it'll lower its speed. Or, I mean, lower its defenses. And then, with that, Acrobatics will always one-shot as he goes for a quick attack. Alright, perfect. And this should always bring in Archeops next. Perfect. Lolar, right now I'm only streaming this game. It's the only game I have time to play for right now. SLR Zero, appreciate the raid. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys are all doing alright. Don't know if you guys are familiar with Pokemon Run&Bun, but ROM hack of Emeralds. I'm doing a hardcore Nuzlocke of it right now. I'm currently on the last gym trainer before Winona here, so... Alright, let me see. So now, Archeops can be pretty annoying, has Stealth Rocks, has a Focus Sash. So it's pretty much guaranteed to go for Stealth Rocks here to set it up. So, but we can easily counter this with my Excadrill. Yeah, so there's the Stealth Rocks. Accelero, what's up, man? Thanks for popping in. How are you guys all doing this evening or this morning? Whichever time zone you guys are at. Alright, so what we could do now is we could rapid spin to get rid of the stealth rocks. Oh, you do calculus run and bun? Oh, that's that sounds pretty nuts. Yeah, I'll have to check you out. That's quite a feat. But appreciate you tuning in. If you wanna tune in for my Winona fight, you can stick around. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead and clear the rocks here as he goes for a dual wing beat. Alright, so that gets rid of the rocks. It also breaks Focus Sash and makes us outspeed. So now we can outspeed and one-shot with Iron Head. Alright, and this will always bring in Corviknight next. Perfect. Alright, so right now, Corviknight is either gonna go for Body Press or Bulk Up. Either of which is perfectly fine for me to swap in my Salazzle into. Ideally, it goes for Bulk Up here. Perfect. Yeah, so that's more ideal. Alright, so now we're going to use Encore to lock it into using Bulk Ups. And now we could just outspeed and KO with 2 flamethrowers. So another Bulk Up. Alright, let's see. Let me just check something really quick. Yeah, no. Alright, yeah. So we'll go for the KO here with Flamethrower. Alright, so this just leaves the Blaziken, which is a big problem because of its speed boost. But right now, it is guaranteed to go for Acrobatics. So, because I outspeed and 2-shot with Sludge Bomb, so I can't go for Sword Stance. Yeah, it has to use Flying Gem boosted Acro here. So we are gonna swap to my Excadrill, who can take it pretty well. Let me just double check one of the calcs here. See, max roll, Acro does 135. Right now I'm at 169. Minus equals 34. Okay, yeah, so we'll always survive a crit. Ideally it doesn't though, for my next switch in. So let's swap in Exca here to take the acrobatics. Or should I go Actually, yeah. No, actually, I should go... I should go Lycanroc instead, yeah. Lycanroc is the safer switch here on acrobatics. Perfect, so there's the acro. We should take this pretty well. Perfect. So it gets its speed boost. It's now faster. And can always see a one-shot with close combat, which is perfect. For us to swap into our Gyarados now to take that close combat and get an Intimidate drop. So we Intimidate. Very important in this case. There's a close combat, perfect. Alright, so now Blaziken outspeeds. It doesn't one-shot, but I'm holding a Life Orb on my Gyarados so that it always sees that I can KO it with my move. So he can't go. He shouldn't be able to go use Sword Stance here. He should only ever go for Acrobatics here because he sees that as highest damage, even without the Flying Gem. So I'm gonna go to my Omastar on what should be a guaranteed Acrobatics. Perfect. Alright, and now at -1 attack, with my Omastar having Shell Armor, I'll always live a close combat and I'll KO it in return with Surf. Yep, and there's the KO. Perfect. It's a critical hit for the road. Alrighty. So those are all the gym trainers. We now just have Winona left as our final fight for the evening. Alright, and this fight is gonna be actually... Winona herself is way more tough than the rest of the gym trainers here. She has a pretty scary team, so... Hopefully, there is some risk in my plan. I am willing to do a potential sack. But if our cards get dealt correctly, we should be able to come out of this deathless. Hopefully. So let me assemble the final team here. Yeah, so Winona, very scary gym trainer. Got Megas, got Legendaries, Mythicals, Pseudo-Legendaries, all that goodness. Alright, so for this fight... Alright. I'm starting to lose a lot of steam here, so we gotta finish strong. So for this fight, we need... Let me just look over my notes here. Go you. Let's see, Gyarados, Corviknight, and Y-Score. So for this fight, we are going to need Arcanine. Let's see, we're keeping Lycanroc. But we need Weezing. We're keeping Gliscor and Gyarados. And then we just need Corviknight. And then for the items, we need... I think for a slightly safer plan, I should go Charcoal. Charcoal for Arcanine. Let's see, Rostberry for Weezing. Roap Berry. One of my only 4 for Lycanroc. Citrus Berry for Gliscor. And then I need to teach Icy Wind to Gyarados. We'll teach it over Scale Shot. Yeah. Alright. Alright, this is a very tough fight. It's very technical. I really hope I planned everything correctly. I would love to end on a bang here. If we get some luck, we can come out of this death list, but we are willing to sack Lycanroc if needed. So let me just look over my calcs just one more time. Okay, let's see. Alright, I think everything looks good. It's just a very scary fight. Triple check all my items one more time. Charcoal. Let me just check one thing here. Alright, yeah. Charcoal, Rost, Roap. No item, Life Orb. Oh no, not Life Orb. No item. definitely don't want Life Orb. And then Citrus Berry. Alright. Pabayata, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day today so far. Alright, let's see. Go here, here, and here. Alright. We're at Winona's 6th gym. She's got a very scary fight. I really, really hope I didn't plan something incorrectly. It is a risky fight, but if we get some good luck on our side, we should be fine. Alright. Let's see, let me just give let me check something really quick. Let me give a Citrus Berry to Corviknight just for some extra safety. Alright. If we can beat Winona here, this will be my 2nd time ever defeating her in a hardcore Nuzlocke. Just quadruple check just one more time. My calcs here. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm just stalling a little bit due to nerves, but we should be good. Alright. Arcanite's leading. Okay, good. Alright. Let's go and do it here. Alright. Leader Winona. Alright, so she leads a Staraptor. With a Choice Scarf. With Reckless. To deal a ton of damage. But the Choice Scarf locks it into whatever move it goes for first. And right now, it sees a KO with only Close Combat into my Arcanine. So I'm going to lock it into using that. And swap into my Weezing to take the hit. So there's a Close Combat. Alright, so what we're gonna do here, we needed to use Close Combat 3 times in order for me to be able to KO. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna Pain Split, which is gonna, because of the averaging, will bring me back to full HP after another Close Combat. Close Combat, go for Plane Split. Perfect. And then now, after the third close combat it hits me with, Sludge Bomb or Strange Steam will take it out. Alright. And Straptor dealing 20 damage there is actually ideal. Alright, so Straptor goes down. This should always bring in the Volcarona next. Perfect. Alright, so this Volcarona is very scary because it has a Focus Sash, meaning it could survive on 1 HP, and it's got Quiver Dance to set up and deal a ton of damage, which can be pretty tough for it to work around. But right now, Volcarona sees a guaranteed KO with only Psychic. So what we're going to do, I'm going to swap to my Lycanroc, who is holding a Roat Berry. One out of 4 that I get in the whole game. But what it does is that if you get hit with a special move, it'll deal slight chip damage to whoever attacked, which will allow me to break the Focus Sash on this Volcarona. Ideally, in order for Lycanroc to not have to be sacked in this fight, this Psychic can't crit. It can get a max roll, it just cannot crit. If it doesn't crit, the fight becomes a lot less risky. So I'm gonna swap Lycanroc in here. Really, really, really hope it doesn't land a critical hit here. Alright, come on, Boston. Psychic, don't crit. Perfect. Okay, good. Alright, so Roat Berry activates, breaking the Focus Sash. And now, because of that, Accelerock will outspeed and always one-shot. Perfect. Really, really good. Alright, and this should always bring in Hawlucha next. Really, really... Okay, perfect. Everything's going to plan so far. This Hawlucha is also very scary. It's got Swords Stance, it's got Acrobatics, it's got Unburden with a Flying Gem. Outspeeds everything, does crazy damage. But right now, it only sees a KO with Close Combat. If the Volcarona had crit its Psychic, I would have had to sack Lycanroc here because I'd be baiting other hits, which I cannot have. But because I'm only baiting Close Combat right now, I can do a couple pivots. I'm going to pivot once through Wheezing to take the Close Combat very well. Good, so there's Close Combat. Deals another 20, that's actually pretty ideal here. So now, it sees highest damage with its Acrobatics. So now we will swap to my my Corviknight to take the Acrobatics pretty well. This will activate its Unburden, but that's totally fine in this case. So let me just triple check. Yeah, we'll go Corviknight first. Alright. Perfect, so there's the Acrobatics. We need it to use its Acrobatics, so it does less damage now. Alright, so now it sees its highest damage with Close Combat again on my Corviknight. It won't use Swords Dance because it sees that my Brave Bird can one-shot it. So it'll never set up. It has to use Close Combat here. So now we can go to my Gliscor, who will take the Close Combat very well. So, yep, we'll do that here. So there's a close combat. So it's used 2. So its defenses are lowered twice now. So now, I needed to hold a Citrus Berry in case of any critical hits on my Gliscor. But at -2 defense, and Acrobatics will still always one-shot. And he will always go for Acrobatics himself. Yeah. And it'll do less damage because it no longer has its Flying Gem. So we'll just KO with Acro here. Alright, so we regain some HP. Go for Acro. This takes it out. Alright, and now Shaman Sky should always be coming in next. Perfect. And this thing is a monster. Obviously, it's a mythical. It's got Seed Flare with Serene Grace, as well as Air Slash. Seed Flare does crazy damage and will drop your special defense by 2 stages, half of the time. Ridiculous move. Right now, it sees that Seed Flare is its highest damaging move. So we're gonna do a couple swaps here. I'm gonna first swap to my Corviknight to take the incoming Seed Flare. Yep, so there's Seed Flare. Yep, and then it gets a Spadef drop there. But now, let me see, even at -2 Spadef, let me see. Yeah. Shaman Sky only sees its highest damaging move to be Air Slash. So because of that, we can swap to my... let me see. We can swap to my Arcanine to take the Air Slash pretty well. Ideally, we would really love for this Air Slash to not crit as well. Very, very much like for that to be the case here. So, we'll swap on Air Slash. Please, please don't get a critical hit here. Come on, Ham, you got me. Don't crit, please. Perfect. Alright, really, really good. Alright, so now the Shaman Sky sees its highest damage. It could only KO my Arcanine with Earth Power. Let me just triple check that. Yeah, so Shaman Sky now has to go use Earth Power. So now we can swap in our Gyarados to take no damage. And the problem with this Shaman Sky is that it's super fast and outspeeds everything in my party. So I needed to bring Gyarados in on an Earth Power because now I can use Icy Wind. I'll always survive a Seed Flare crit, and the Icy Wind will lower its speed by 1 stage. Oh, and he missed, actually. That's pretty funny. That actually might be very helpful here. It is holding leftovers. So now, again, it has to go for another Seed Flare. But now at -1 speed, my Arcanine can now outspeed it. So it's gonna go for Seed Flare again. We're gonna pivot again once through Corviknight. Okay, so Seed Flare. This should proc Citrus Berry, I believe. Perfect. Alright, and now, again, it has to go for only Air Slash for its highest damaging move. So we can bring Arcanine back in. It's fine if this Air Slash crits now. Perfect. And now, because of the Icy Wind, it being at -1 speed, my Arcanine can now outspeed and one-shot with Flare Blitz. And I'm Rockhead, so I won't take any recall damage. Perfect. Really, really good. Alright, so now this should always bring in Altaria next. And this is the riskiest part of the fight right here. So this is a Mega Altaria, which does a lot of damage. But right now, it only sees that it can KO my Arcanine with only Earthquake, which is the perfect move for me to swap into my Weezing, which has Levitate, so it won't take the Earthquake here. So there's the Mega Evolve. And we should see Earthquake. Perfect. Alright, now. Altaria sees that its highest damaging move is Flamethrower. We cannot one-shot it right now. But this is where Pain Split becomes a huge tech. We always live a Flamethrower crit. Ideally, it doesn't crit. And holding a Rossberry in case of burn. So I'm gonna let it's gonna attack me first. I'm gonna Pain Split to reduce its HP and regain some HP back myself. And hopefully this Flamethrower doesn't crit. Okay, good. Alright, so now we're back up at 130. Which means we are now still outside of Flamethrower crit range by only 9 HP. And we still have our Rossberry equipped in case of a burn. So I won't die to burn damage if I do get crit. And now Sludge Bomb has a chance to KO here. I'm not sure exactly the chance, but it does have a chance to KO. If it doesn't, I could potentially get the poison proc. If it doesn't KO and that doesn't happen, we'll have to go for a backup strategy. But it's going to go for another Flamethrower. Hopefully, this Sludge Bomb will KO it. Alright, come on, Lizzie. Perfect. Woo! Alright. Really, really good. Altaria goes down. All that's left now is a Celesteela. And this thing right now, at 50 HP, sees a KO with either Flamethrower or a Heavy Slam. So we could go to... Let's see. Let me just triple check here. Yeah, it'll never be Rock Slide. I'm outside of Rock Slide range. It's never Earthquake. So I need to bring Arcanine in on a Flamethrower. Ideally. So I need to... We're gonna go Gyarados first. who can take either a flamethrower or heavy slam pretty well. Intimidate will also be a bit helpful here. So, flamethrower. Alright, so now it should always go for Rock Slide. So we can go to Corviknight to take the Rock Slide here. Yep, there's a Rock Slide. And now, against my Corviknight, Flamethrower is its highest damaging move, so it can only go for that. So now, I could finally bring back in my Arcanine on a guaranteed Flamethrower here. Perfect. And holding a Charcoal, I just barely guarantee one-shot this Celesteela with Flare Blitz. Let me just triple check one more time. Let me see. Yeah. This Flare Blitz will guarantee one shot. Woo! We made it past Winona. Second time. 0 deaths. Oh my goodness. Woo! Man, this feels so good. What a milestone. Oh man, I'm so tired, but I'm super happy. That fight went very, very well. And we finally get Roost and we get access to Fly. Alright, so I'm gonna immediately save. Alright, so I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna go ahead and end things there for tonight. But really appreciate everyone who tuned in to watch. We are now 6 gym badges in. Let me go ahead and just adjust that really quick. With only 2 deaths, which is super crazy. I still can't really believe that. Alright, there we go. Alrighty. Well, very great stream. Wish everyone a good night. Hope blessings for everybody. I'm gonna take a little break before I continue. So yeah, I will see everyone in my next stream.